So, how did you get into Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto in general?
I started playing SAMP when I was 14, but before that I played Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, and I found Vice City Multiplayer, the add-on for it, and I thought it was very cool. So I liked it a lot, and then for a few weeks went by, I thought it had a lot of bugs, it wasn't very great. So then I went to San Andreas and found there was a multiplayer for that. And Littlewhitey's was literally the first server I joined, and it was amazing. I thought the players were great. I was a noob at cop spawn getting killed. I remember right off the bat. I remember Lily, actually, an admin, specifically, just camping the spawn with the other admins killing me. But I thought it was great. It was a fun experience trying to get away from the admins. But then I was able to manage to get into a group where some of the new players could form a resistance to stand up to the admins, and eventually we got good enough to form a gang and take over territories. I thought it was really cool, starting from the bottom in Littlewhitey's.
So, tell me about your first few experiences on the Littlewhitey server.
So, I remember right off the bat when I tried connecting to Littlewhitey's, it was full. So you literally had to wait a few minutes to get in before someone left in order to get in, and I thought it was ridiculous. I'm like, what is this server all about? It was 200 out of 200 players when I started. I think this was in 2007, 2008. And it was insane. So as soon as you finally got a spot to join Littlewhitey's, you would spawn in the cop spawn. And I remember, like I mentioned, that my first experience was starting underground, coming up from the underground base in the LVPD, you know, driving up. And right away, the admins and all the gangs, Evo. I remember even CP. I think was running around back then, and it was incredible. To get away from LVPD was a blessing. And if you were able to get away, I think the first thing we started figuring out was going to the ammunition, started to buy some weapons, and then every time we did spawn, at least we would have some protection, because back then in Littlewhitey's, you literally started with just a deagle. I think, right? Just a deagle. So there's not much protection, no saw-offs, no Tech 9s or Uzis, it was just a deagle. So good luck getting past the admins that have the saws and everything. So after we figured out the weapons strategy and figured out how to form a good resistance to at least get out of the spawn place. But of course you could spawn away from that. But being a noob, we didn't really figure out how to spawn away from LVPD, which is why everybody loved surrounding LVPD, because there was 50, 60, 70 noobs there, always, because nobody cared. Nobody cared where they were spawning. They just pressed shift right away. So it was a great advantage. So once we could finally get good enough to get away and form our own group, we were able to start fighting there. And then we were able to pick on the noobs too, because there were so many people. It was ridiculous. You could just start killing anybody around there.
How do you recall clans and bigger player groups back then? What was the experiences you made with enemy clans, with friendly clans? How did you meet them?
Right away, I know them. I think the clans that come into mind the most are Evo, Joker. I think Evo and Joker were the first two big ones that I can really recall. I think right away people I think it was Joker befriended me. Evo was mean. I think a lot of the people from Evo, except Jenna, I think, she was the only person that was nice to me back then. Otherwise everybody else was just out for the kills, for their kill ratio. So I actually applied to Joker. I got in for like 6 months. I played in Joker, and so we were all right. The gang war in Littlewhitey. So the gang war experience was amazing, because again, this was when there was 200 players. So having gang wars and gang turfs against the other clans was just so incredible. I can't remember beyond Joker, Evo. I mean CP, the Cherry Popper clan, but I think they were trailing off right about when I started. And then there was an NOX, and I'm trying to think of the other old gangs that were around back then. But it was really mainly, I feel like Evo and Joker were the two main clans that resided in Littlewhitey's, that took all the turfs, that were bullied the new players, because there were just so many of them, and it was amazing to watch them fight against each other too. It was incredible. It was a great experience though.
So when you play in your early days, what was like on the pirate ship?
So the pirate ship was the best battleground area to be able to gain the money the quickest, because you could get properties and all that, but people would buy and sell them so quickly, so it was hard. So the pirate ship was great for the noobs to get cash to buy weapons, because obviously the economy is really, really hard back then. I feel like it was hard to get money. So a bunch of noobs would stand on the pirate ship, and you lasting more than 5 minutes, as I was saying. It was hard to stay alive for more than a few minutes, because there was just so many people. And so you could find some noobs that were playing, "Hey man, please just don't shoot me. I'm just trying to get some money." And you could form like a group of like 5 or 10 people in a gang or something, and to try to just take over the pirate ship. And we would guard it against the people that are trying to kill us. Like, "Hey, we're just trying to get money. Please just leave us alone." But it was great. The pirate ship. The best thing. I figured this out like days within joining Littlewhitey's, and I think this is what got me hooked, because I figured this out. I used to spawn as the ambulance skin all the time, and since it was so close to the airport, I never flew the Rustlers. I was too big of a noob back then, but I got into the helicopter and I would just hover over the pirate ship. You could literally just hover over the pirate ship.
I did the same, man.
Did you really?
Back then, yes.
Did you have to with a helicopter as well?
Getting a helicopter and just flying low, getting in with all your friends. So
yeah. So all 4 of them. Yes, dude. I remember that. But people would, especially from the admin roof, I feel like could see that happening, and they would always just shoot our helicopters down. So, and then there goes all that money that we would. But the good thing is, we would blow up in the air, so all the money bags were up there, so nobody could get us. So nobody could get the money. It was nobody's money then. But man, yeah, that was fun. But
Did you ever figure out about making money in the strip club as well?
In the what type?
In the strip club. When you took a prostitute skin and strip there, you would get the same amount of money.
Oh yeah, I did remember. No, I didn't find that out until years after I was in Littlewhitey's. Believe it or not, a year. It took me years to figure that out, dude. It was I was usually using the pirate ship, and then once I finally had enough money, I was good. But then I also had a lot of I would become friends, because I think I was pretty friendly. So I made friends pretty easily. They would usually give me money if I really was in need of it. But for the most part, I was able to, especially my time zone. Since I live in the U.S., I have that's my advantage that a lot of the Europeans don't, because when I would get on, it'd be what, 2 a.m. If it's like 9 p.m. here, all the Europeans are going to bed, and all of Europe is asleep. So I feel like I was able to get about 90 players. That sounds crazy, I know. 90 players. That was little. That was like a low player count, I feel like, back then. But that was just enough to be able to get around the server without problem. You know what I mean? Because there are 200 players, which is insane to try to make money, to try to keep your money, but to also. Oh gosh, what were the other things that we could do? Besides the properties, because the properties were so fun, because there were like 20 or 30 you could get. And once you finally sat at them, like again at night, because if there were 90 people, I bet only like 5 or 10 knew about the properties. So I would be able to have that to my advantage, to be able to rack up some money at night and then bank it real quick, and then go to sleep for the night. So I could start off the next morning, buy weapons right away, and feel stronger. But man, I can tell you, I used to play this game right before school. I remember this now. In high school, in like 9th grade, I would get up, like an hour or 2 early and just mess around, because it's just so addicting, man. To just as soon as you started getting good at and having that advantage over the noobs, being able to kill them, and once you had a little bit of money and had a reputation and could play and get around without everybody shooting you, like all the clans and whatnot, then you had an advantage. But you really had to play for like 6 months to a year before people would know your name, and people that changed their name, like we talk about all the time, would have a hard time, because you have to start fresh all the time, all over again, and whatnot.
So how do you get your reputation for the later on staff rank that you got, like the management position you had? How do you get that?
Well, see, I don't know if many people knew this, but I was young when I think I lied about my age. I was 14 when I got moderator. I'm pretty sure I was 14. So I told everybody I was 15, just, because I think I don't know, I think it's Ez is how you pronounce his name, from New Zealand, was 15. So I'm like, oh, okay, at least I'm his age, you know? But I was secretly the youngest moderator for Little Whitey, so I thought it was so badass. I thought it was so cool. It was like an achievement in my life back then when I was so young, man. It was so awesome. I remember the day that I got moderator. I'll never forget it. That it was in the bank, you know, depositing cash, and Doogie came online, and he's like, "Hey, eDiT, do you want moderator?" And I said, "Yes, please. Yeah, of course I want moderator." And so he gave me the privilege right away, and I got the form. And dude, that was the happiest day of my life. I feel like, because I played Little Whiteys. I feel like at that point for about 6 months, so it was like my everything for a while, you know, like it is for all of us for some time when we get into it. So since that was such a new game to me, I thought that was so amazing that I was able to get moderator from then. So I remember it was me and Splatterpuss, I think, got moderator at the same time, because Tezza was already Splatterpuss. They're brothers. So we got promoted at the same time, I think, and right away it was so hard, man. It was stressful. If you thought playing with 200 players was stressful, imagine all the reports you're getting and all the shit that happens going on. It's crazy, because when there's 200 players on and you're the only moderator online, you can't play the game anymore. It's like when you have the commitment to Little Whitey's staff, then you have to start taking that seriously. And so when I'd get 5 or 10 reports every minute, man, it was just so stressful. But I loved it. It was like an adrenaline rush. And I did a good job. I felt like I did a good job. And then I got admin, you know, a few months later, so I could ban people and do a little bit more. And that's where I feel like I built my reputation in Little Whiteys. I feel like I was a nice player, you know. I didn't break the rules. I helped new players. I loved helping people, and so they could enjoy it just as much as I did. And then eventually I got so into Little Whiteys, I started wanting to improve the server. I brought in eDiT, as a lot of people know, in the Little Whiteys team, at least the staff team. I got into programming him, and I got into scripting a little bit for the server, because I just loved and lived and breathed Little Whiteys. And it was just so good. It was an awesome time, man. They trusted me with, you know, server access, so I could, you know, join the test server and upload some scripts and do stuff like that. And it was amazing. I basically was management then, and then I had a little bit of inactivity. You know, I quit or rage quit or whatever you want to call it for a few years, and then I rejoined. I think we talked about it, 2011 or 2012. I think is when I rejoined. And that's when I was active again, and then I went from moderator, admin to management within like a month or two, because there was nobody active by then. I was surprised, and that was the time. So I quit. By the time the first time I quit, when that was about 2 years I'd played.
Yeah.
I quit. It was about 150 players average. Okay. I came back, and Little Whiteys was down to about 70 or 80, and I was like, wow, what happened? Like that's like the lowest we had back then, which is crazy to think about, because zero's but so we back then was incredible, because 70 players was a change. It was shocking to me, but I'm like, nonetheless, I'm back to help. I want to still improve the server, so I did that for a while, and then.
Did you regret?
What?
At that time when you came back, did you regret leaving it for a while?
Yeah,
because you missed when
so much change,
lost the
so
players.
many new staff, and but it was amazing how welcoming everybody was. They're like, "Oh, I've heard of you, eDiT." Like, "Oh, I've heard of you." I'm like, "Really? That's crazy!" Like, that's crazy that I was known online. Like, it was amazing. And then, and so I got my privileges back. I got along with a lot of the new admins. I think Enzo was a new one, and Spitfire had so many new admins that I had never played with before, but they welcomed me right in, and I was honored. And then I got management, so I was like, hey guys, like, don't take me too, I didn't act super superior, or I like to keep it even. I just like to improve the server, because I think a lot of stuff needed work, and a lot of stuff needed improving and updating, and we tried, over the years to improve the scripts and whatnot, and it definitely worked, but I just think I'm ranting now, man.
It's alright.
I'm going on to scripting, and but
you brought in redirect left, right?
I'm so sorry, Little Whiteys. Yeah, I brought in redirect left. I played in Sumo server a lot. I knew he was a prick. I knew he was a prick, but he was a good coder. You know, we didn't have anybody at that time.
Yes.
So I brought him in. You know, I talked to the management, I talked to the admins, but not like very serious. Like, hey, we're gonna get a new developer. Redirect left. He's cool. Blah blah blah. Is that all right? You know, okay, cool. So we brought him in. Right away, he rubbed everybody the wrong way. Nobody liked him. Right off the bat, I was like, what the fuck did I do? No. Like, I was only back for like a few months at that point, you know. I was all on a good streak for, you know, I feel like for, you know, making the server a little bit better, trying to get the player count back. Oh, but that was terrible. And this was a few years later after I had joined, because I was, so this was when the server was really lacking players, like 20 players, 30 players was, this is the time we're talking, like 2014, 2013, I feel like. So Redirect left. He added a lot of stuff, you know, over the few weeks. Do you remember some of the scripts he made? Like, it was
Speedometer.
the speedometer, yeah.
Yeah.
That, and he did some. He added the sumo thing. I thought that was amazing. He did some awesome stuff. And then it didn't work out. He was pissing everybody off, and I'm like, hey man, we gotta let you go. This is not working out. So you're like, all right, no problem. Deleted everything that he did. Back to square one. And I'm like, fuck. It was worth a try. Sorry, Littlewhiteys, I tried. But so at that point, I gave up. I went inactive a little bit after that. I feel like I was, mainly because I started school. And then I feel like that was 2014, and here we are today, 2017. And Qwerbeet's in front of me. That's just incredible, man, that you were able to venture out here to Rochester, New York, all the way from Germany, man. I never thought this Rustler son of a bitch would ruin the. I have to remember now. I guess I have to reminisce about how I remember you in the game, because it was the races specifically that I think that we all started really knowing who Qwerbeet was, because you were the one that would always shoot the cars as we were racing, or we're on the ground just having a good time, and then we're like, what the fuck? Oh, it was a great time. I thought it was amazing. Nobody else, a lot of people hated it. I thought it was amazing, but you know, it was, what are we gonna do? The wrestlers were there, and then we added more. The art team was founded, yeah, and
that was 2010, yes.
Oh, that was 2010.
Yeah.
So where am I in time? You founded the art team.
You came way later, but we were shooting those races like from scratch, right?
Yeah.
That's how we made the money.
Man, so I'm so confused in my timeline then. So did I know you in 2010? I must have known you.
I don't think so, because we were not really good, right? There were there were better pilots.
So I must have been active because I started in 2007, 2008ish, I feel like, okay?
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah. And I think I must have stopped playing in 2010, 2011 then, because I feel like I remember you before I left for the first time.
Yes.
So okay. So now we're on the same page. So I definitely remember that, because when I came back and became active again, there was like so many wrestlers on the airport, way more than I remember, and I'm like, oh, okay, the art team, I like it, man. No, I like that so many clans and teams can use Littlewhitey's server for that, because that encourages the player count to go up. I feel like, and other people to see that we're welcoming of so many players that or so many clans, I should say. Because remember, Joker and Evo, I feel like, had their own training server that was just to train. Maybe Evo, because I know they played on LVP as well. But that was just their training server to play in Littlewhitey. So it's not like, so they all back then, everybody used Littlewhitey's as the clan's meeting point and stuff like that, and that's amazing. That's the legacy I'll always remember, is a clan war deathmatch. Oh, getting out of the cop spawn legacy. I'm never gonna forget that, because it was just so amazing. It was an epic battle every day. You would come in there, but it still is now. I'm glad cop spawn is still there, but a lot of these. I feel like a lot of these experienced players need to leave the noobs alone, so they stop quitting within 5 minutes so we can keep some players. But, it's a deathmatch server, so that's the way it is, But it's not the same, There's not 50, 60, 70 players in Cop Spawn now. There's like 5, 10, 15 sometimes. But, hopefully we can get Littlewhitey's back someday, We're always hopeful.
We will.
We will. We'll get a Little Whitey's back someday. There you go. You can add that in somewhere.
Do you recall play Littlewhitey?
Mm-hmm. I do remember Little Whitey, and he played as Yeti. It was Little Whitey spelled backwards, so nobody would know he was there. And I only remember playing with him a few times. Like this was before I was moderator, so I think he went inactive well before I was a moderator. And because this was when Simon was active and everybody, and he was the reason that Little Whitey's is what it is, because without his script to make it is amazing and unique, because I think Little Whitey's was one of 6 official servers, right? Was it like 6 or 7? You know, I played in GamerX, and you play, but all that, there's so many stunts and flips and shit, and it's fun to like go relax and not have to worry about it. But I feel like when you wanted to be serious and play Samp, you went to Little Whitey's because the deathmatch was there, and the clan wars were there. And I think that was the go-to spot.
The more memorable players
Yeah.
we met, that was like definitely Doogie.
Oh yeah. Doogie, Pops, yeah, I feel like we're the two head guys of Little Whitey's.
2 superior people.
The 2 superiors for sure. And Doogie still to this day, I feel like is my superior because the way he is. But Pops was pretty active back then too. He was just as active as Doogie was, I feel like. And it was more of the time when Simon started to go inactive after
Simon's a scripter.
the scripter that made it by that point. I feel like he didn't play in game as much when Pops and Doogie did. But so them 2 were definitely memorable. I remember Pubers was another one right from the start, from the UK. I can't remember if he got moderator before I did or if I got it after. But he was another really memorable one as well. He's another Rustler too, right? He loved the Rustler back in the day. I do remember that specifically. And then I think Splatterpuss and Tezza used to use the ambulance skin for the Rustlers as well, if I recall. Who else? Let's think. Who else? I think.
Yeah, on stuff. Fail pills.
Fail pills.
In that time.
And I remember I mentioned Ez already. Who else am I thinking?
Yeah, that's Bluert.
And Bluert, of course, man. Bluert's the best. He's the funniest freaking Welsh.
Bluert's still around.
God,
That's the fun part.
Bluert. I love you, Bluert. I hope you can talk to us someday. I hope we can meet. Who else did we used to play with, man?
Remember Joker Egg?
Egg! Yes! He was from what country? Somewhere in, I forget. And then David as well. Yes!
Joker David.
Oh my god. So many, oh man.
There was Sayers.
Sayers, yes.
Leading
Sayers. We were good friends for a while too. And he was admin as well. I told you him and Slice. Oh, Oscar, I love you, man. We all tried to start that server company that I told you about. It failed miserably. I'm sorry about that, Sayers. Still am. Who else? Let's see. See, as soon as I start thinking, I'll lose all the names. Neon Pills, of course. K-Man. Oh my God.
K-Man legend. Big Smoke.
Yes. Big Smoke. Oh my God. Even Tenchi. Oh my God. He was friends with K-Man. They run that Protect the Server now, I think, or the Protect the President server now. Who else? I'm drawing a blank, man. You were able to list them off the bat, and then as soon as now that I have to think on the spot, let's see.
Yeah, that's Bike Driver from
Bike Driver, yes.
From Germany.
I know people back in the generation I played in will remember Neville Warfer, the drive-by guy. He would always. I think he had 328 kills and like 4 deaths on a police motorcycle. He was ruthless, man, ruthless. Oh man, I remember I told you about Helicopter Boy. He was a phase that we went through a few weeks or a few months. I think it was Shark Undercover, and he just like Bike Driver I think he got like a massive amount of helicopter kills and very, very few deaths. I think he got banned eventually for something stupid. I just think he would heli kill the admin so much we found a reason to ban him.
When did you first get in touch with the R team or the Rustler-Team?
The first time I remember them is when they started blowing up the tank that we worked so hard to get every Catterday. every time we get it, I think it was you. We get into Rustler, brrr, within minutes. We waited hours some days to get that tank, man, and then within minutes the Rustler-Team had destroyed it. Oh, but then I remember eventually I became friends with you, so you didn't shoot me, but all your other art teams people still did. So it was some days when you guys were, you know, a few of them were in there. It was impossible to get anywhere on the ground and driving from place to place. So I learned to make friends with the art team very quickly because they show no mercy on the ground. Other times were the races for sure, but everybody ruined races from the beginning. Like fire trucks, the hoses, everything like that. When we would block the bridges and whatnot for like all around San Andreas. That was the best for sure. But then the Rustler-Team learned that they could also take advantage of that as well and shoot us down. And I remember I didn't race often, and when I did, I would do pretty well. I'm like, yes, and then brrr, boom. Never won a race before. I think it's because of that. Oh man, our team's great though. They're a great clan for sure.
So, what about Virus Clan? The leader is Jojo.
Jojo, yeah, Jojo.
From Egypt.
From Egypt, man, and he's a singer, and I've heard his music, and he's amazing. I don't know if you knew that. He's a good singer.
I did not.
I think he's making it big in wherever he's living. That's what I've heard. So best of luck to you, Jojo, if you ever watch this. No, but the Virus Clan, man, they took over. They spread like a virus. I think they came around after I think Evo started dying off, and then Joker and Virus were definitely rivals. But I feel like Virus in the beginning just recruited all the people that didn't get into Joker. And so, it was great, man. The clan wars were just amazing, and Virus got pretty good too from just playing against Joker. So I don't know, maybe they should have let him in. Oh, what else were we talking about? Jojo, yeah. Oh, another person. Forgive. I need to mention him. Forgive. You're awesome, man. From Romania. Oh, who else are we talking about? I remember Oogie from Canada. Oh, that's another one. Oh, Oogie, you're so funny, man. I remember you on TeamSpeak. Oh, funny nights. What else?
Yeah, we talked about Bang Bus before.
Bang Bus! Bang Bus! You used to tell me how many, like, I don't know, 11 or 12 bottles. I can't keep track anymore, man. Oh my god, Bang Bus, you are funny, man. You're so funny.
Jets.
Yeah, Jets. Jets from, UB Jets. Oh my god, Jets. Oh, his brother also played.
Yes,
I can't.
Bills, I think.
Yes, Bills, that's right.
He made the Alpha Clan, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I haven't seen them in a while. If you guys
Jets
see this,
was around lately, but yeah, not for long.
Okay.
He should be close to us now.
Cool. Yes, he is close. I think he lived in, he lived in Buffalo. I'm pretty sure he lived in Buffalo. Dude. I don't remember, man. Who else? I'm drawing a blank. We just looked through so many people. And then when the more recent active time, Playa, Arian, man, it's been so long since I've played.
Freak from Joker.
Joker Freak,
yeah.
Oh my god, all the Jokers, man. There's so many people from Joker that are
very important people. Yeah,
like even Joker, Twinkle, Michelle. Oh my god, I think they were from London or the UK somewhere. They were awesome. I think Pubers knew them, and they like actually went out together. I don't know if you ever knew that. I think, crazy man. Oh my god, I don't remember who else. We got that was CP, the Cherry Poppers. Bluer was in CP with Doogie and Pops. Linka, do you know Linka? Oh my god, I think she was in CP as well. Linka, oh man, very in the very beginning of my time, I was able to play with her. And another more from Toonfish. Oh my god, I think you trained me. Who else? My god. I can't even remember the people.
We just sent a message to Superbad.
Yeah, Superbad. Oh my god, we just sent a message to Superbad to say what's up. Oh my god, he was the disco skin, the glasses. Oh, I'm never gonna forget him.
The afro guy, the white afro. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then
there was Gryphus.
Gryphus won.
Gryphus won. Morlante Jose Miguel. That's his real name. And Gryphus was the Dreyfus was one of these people who trained me, who got me into flying. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! See, he was the first.
Yeah, he was like
He was the spark that started our.
Nah, not really. Like he was not really into it. He had his own clan called Drive By. Late One and him were like the.
Was that the oh no, there was someone else that was FNK, Fly and Kill?
Yeah, that was.
That was someone else that trademark. Okay. Oh my God. I don't know. So many players that I'm not going to remember just from the top of my head either, because it's been so long. Oh, so if there's anybody I was good friends with, I have to apologize that I'm drawing.
That was Anki, obviously. Like we talked about Anki before.
Who?
Anki. E-N-K.
Oh, Enki, yes,
Yeah.
from America, yes. Oh
Yeah.
my God, he used to get banned for his mods or for his graphic mods. Like he wasn't doing anything harmful, but because he told the admins, like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm using this HD texture pack, by the way, and no, ban. That's something like that. I don't know the full story, but he got banned after a year, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know how the story went, but Enki's a really cool guy. Okay, so, wait, what was the? I'm so sorry. What was the question? I got so excited about the interviewing other people. What was the actual question?
Who's gonna be next?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so the fact that Qwerbeet was able to come here and first he interviewed Typhoon, and then he interviewed eDiT over here. I think next is going to be interviewing Bluer or Gryphus one. Yeah. I hope so. Maybe we can get an interview at a Doogie. Classic retired sand player Doogie. Oh my goodness. Oh, Littlewhiteys. Forever a place in my heart, man. I hope we can get back. I'm going to try to be active again. This is my 2017 New Year's resolution. I will try to get back active into Littlewhiteys.